Keep your respiratory droplets away from me. Leprosy by Catherine Samanek. Leprosy originates from the bacteria Mycobacterium leprae, which was first discovered under a microscope in 1873 by G.H. Armer Hansen in Norway. He was a physician and scientist at the time. He is also the reason why leprosy is also referred to as Hansen's disease. This pathogen is a prokaryotic, gram-positive bacillus or rod-shaped bacteria with a thick waxy coating around its cell wall. It is slow-growing and found in warm tropical countries or areas. Staying up to speed with current times, this is a map showing the cases in 2016 of leprosy around the world. This map proves that Mycobacterium leprae tends to stay in more warm and tropical areas. Moving on to the history of leprosy. It is believed that leprosy had originated in East Africa, and from there it migrated to different parts of the world through the Asian migration, colonialism, and the slave trade. It has been proven to be shown in the oldest Chinese, Egyptian, and Indian civilizations through their artwork and depictions of the symptoms of this disease within their people. In modern day, leprosy affects mainly populations of people that live in Africa and Asia. It is a more rare disease, however, it does affect a small population of people in the United States even. Here it is mainly shown to be located in the South, California, Hawaii, and other U.S. territories. On to the transmission of leprosy. Leprosy is transmitted through physical contact over a prolonged period of time with somebody who is untreated of leprosy. This is transmitted through respiratory droplets, such as coughing or sneezing. It has also been proven to have been found in feral armadillos and other primates, in which it transmitted to people. So how does this attack your body? Well, first off, 95% of people have a natural immunity to leprosy, so the other 5 are less susceptible to Mycobacterium leprae, which is transmitted through these respiratory droplets into your respiratory system. And from here, it attacks your nerve cells, and it leads to the inability of your body to feel pain. As you can see here, the leprosy has traveled to the person's nerves in their hands, and it has begun to kill the nerves. Because of this loss of feeling, those with leprosy seem to not notice any injuries they acquire, which causes them to go unnoticed and become infected. Therefore, there is a significant loss of tissue. So here are the symptoms of leprosy. There are skin sores, lumps, bumps, and nerve damage. It affects skin and peripheral nerves located outside the spinal cord and brain. Also could affect your eyes and the thin tissue lining inside the nose. Now, most have a misconception that these disformities that you see here on these poor people's hands are a cause solely due to Mycobacterium leprae, which this is not the case. What happens is that this is mainly caused by the nerve damage, and as I had said before, those go unnoticed of their injuries, and this causes them to have to amputate these extremities. The nerve damage is so significant, and it leads to numbness in arms and legs, muscle weaknesses, curling of the fingers and thumb, so this here would be curled, nose collapses, and ulceration and blindness within the eyes, as we can see in this man. This takes a long time after contracting the disease for the symptoms to become visible enough to even diagnose and treat them. This is due to Mycobacterium leprae being a slow-growing type of bacteria, according to WebMD, and as I had mentioned earlier. Now, who is at risk of leprosy, you may ask? Well, anyone in contact with someone who is untreated of leprosy is at a big risk, as their respiratory droplets can be transmitted from them to them. And statistically, it is shown that mostly Asian and South Pacific Islanders were the largest proportion of ethnic association within the 178 cases of 2015, People who live in the South, in Africa, or Asia are also more susceptible, or any other warm and tropical areas. Onto the treatment of leprosy. Leprosy can be cured through a multitude of ways. You can take antibiotics, such as prednisone, which is an anti-inflammatory drug that controls nerve pain and damage. You can also take thalidomide, which is a medication that suppresses the body's immune system and aids in treating the skin lesions. There's also a multi-drug therapy 2-step process that you can go through that will eliminate leprosy from your body. First, you would take these 3 drugs, rifampicin, dapsone, and clofazimine, which all aid in destroying the bacteria that causes leprosy over a 6-month to 2-year process. Next, you will go either through surgical procedures such as amputations due to the nerve damage. Also, you could go another path and go through physiotherapy to regain any of the remaining feeling that you do have in your extremities. As you can see here, a woman is trying to exercise her hand and fingers, and while this man is trying to exercise his foot and legs. Here's a chart that shows the cases per year from 1985 to 2015 in the United States of leprosy. 100 cases of leprosy are documented per year in the United States, and as of 2015, 72% of those new cases were reported by Arkansas, California, Florida, Hawaii, Louisiana, New York, and Texas, all of these being southern places aside from New York. 66% of these new cases were in males, and it has been proven that in youth, women and males, girls and boys, have shown an equal adaptation of leprosy. However, into adulthood, males show it more often than women do. In 2015, a total of 178 cases of Hansen's disease were reported in the U.S. Over the last 30 years, as seen in this chart, 6,076 new cases have been reported. The number of cases reported per year peaked at 456 in 1983, which is not shown on this chart. Now do your research. These are the websites that I had gained and obtained my information from and had portrayed to you, my audience. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed, and remember to keep your respiratory droplets to yourself.